Is that thing going to be able to hold up and keep up with our podcast?
Is this laptop going to hold up for however long we record? I don't know. It's older than my dog.
Imagine it just like crashing in the middle.
Just in the middle of us recording.
Some saucy topics, yeah.
Should we start yet?
Is this live or are we just testing?
Yeah, I pressed record.
Well, all right then. Welcome to you call it out, Mr. 7030.
We're going to rock with the Growing Up Young title with Eric
And Ezra.
Perfect. That was cute.
It's been a minute since we've sat down and talked about, life in general and just what's been going on.
What has been going on? What's today's date? Do we know? It's August 20th, 2021. Whoa.
Shit's been crazy. What is this, almost a year since we've been living together?
Yeah, our lease started 355 days ago.
How are we going to celebrate?
Probably have some drinks.
That's a good start.
If I were to guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, a year in this apartment. Pretty crazy. It's nice having a roommate I like.
Yeah, is it a first for you?
I don't want to say it's a first, but I'm a big believer in the right environment is the best place to grow as a person.
Does that mean Dallas right now or what?
Kind of. So for people listening who may not know my background, we'll start there. I lived in Colorado for 4 years. I went to community college at Front Range while living in Boulder for 2 years, and then moved to Denver and transferred to CU Denver, which is CU Boulder's sister school in the great city of Denver, Colorado. Lived there for 2 more years. Pandemic happened. Moved back here. But I like to say that life always, up until now, has felt like I've been working to live in Dallas in my own apartment. Pretty crazy, especially growing up here. I know your upbringing was not in Dallas.
Nope, I'll get to it in a second. I guess just to touch on that, yeah, from South Carolina. Moved to Dallas when I was 16. Went to school at Texas State. But on the topic of good and bad roommates, I have a story to tell about a really shitty roommate.
Let's hear it.
I'm sure you've heard this before, but
no need to name names either.
No, it's I don't even want to say his name. Kid's a piece of shit. But Texas State, first year, we were required to live in the dorms at least for 1 year.
What year did you start college? 2015.
Yeah, it was like August 2015.
You're 24 and I'm 23.
Yes. Crazy.
Crazy.
So first year freshman dorms got paired up with a random. Was supposed to have our buddy Kane. He went to Texas State. He really fumbled the bag and didn't fill out the form where you could like request a friend as a roommate or someone you know.
Oh, so he just messed up on getting y'all to be together.
Yeah. We're supposed to live together. I guess ended up fine that we didn't. We're we're still able to hang out and like meet people that way.
Everything works out in the end.
But the roommate situation for me did not work out fine at all. This kid, he was, Texas State's not too hard of a school to get into. We'll say that it's kind of got the rep for a party school. It certainly is. Had a great time there. But the random roommate that I did get paired up with, super straight edge. Asked him, I thought we were like at least friends, cordial.
I have heard this story.
Wanted to, hang out, go to parties, whatever, to get the freshman, experience.
It's college.
Exactly, at Texas State. But then, I guess, long story short, this kid, I was going to ACL. It was like a Thursday.
So like October.
Yeah.
You've been living there for a couple months.
I'd say, yeah, what is that, like 2.5 months maybe? First ACL experience on Austin City Limits in, first 2 weekends of October. Really excited, haven't been before. Vivek was, our buddy Viv was going to come up from Dallas.
Shout out Vivek Doda.
Me and my boy Kane, the one I was talking about who fumbled the bag with the roommate situation. We all went up to, meet at his uncle's place in Austin. It was going to have a great weekend, music festival, all that good stuff. So I played club baseball my freshman year of college and ended up befriending and ended up living with this guy, Nick. He was already 21 at the time, real big dog from Rockwall. But he was just like the guy who would like buy me alcohol when I was a freshman before I turned 21.
Yeah, because you're 18.
Yeah, I was still 18. My birthday's in July, so I was literally 18 by like a month. This is by the time I moved into, the freshman dorms. But met him. He would always buy me my alcohol. It was like Thursday or maybe like the Friday morning before going up to Austin that weekend to start a 3-day bender of a festival. Just absolutely.
He bought you alcohol with your parents' permission, of course.
They were aware and they also didn't really care. But
I just mean for legal sake.
No, good guy. Yeah, no, he was the homie. We played baseball together. Fucking just got me whatever I needed basically, and alcohol wise. And then so I go get a bottle of Tito's, put it in our mini fridge. Me and my freshman year roommate put it in. I guess I say our mini fridge, but it was like his. Like he brought it from his home or whatever. And
you just wanted to cool the drinks off, no problem.
Yeah, I just put it in the fridge. It was like I got back, put it in there, leave to go hang out with some buddies before go spend a weekend in Austin. And I get back and he sits me down, or doesn't really sit me down, but he's just like, "Hey man, we need to talk." And I was like, "Okay, what?" Like meanwhile, I'm like packing my shit, getting ready to leave for the weekend. He goes, "Whatever you put in my fridge is not okay." I go, "Excuse me." I go, "What do you mean, man?" He's like, we're not supposed to have alcohol in the dorms.
Oh, it was he really liked the rules.
Oh yeah, he, like I said, straight edge dude, did not just get that.
I mean, not to interrupt you, but following the rules is okay. It just would have been nice if he had not thrown you under the bus.
Like I said, like we weren't like cool, but I considered ourselves, I guess, cordial, and like I wanted to be friends. I didn't want to like hate my roommate. I had invited him to things and parties, functions, whatever, hang out with like our friends because obviously he didn't.
You just assumed there was a certain level of understanding between each other.
Well, yeah, if there's like a problem with something in our room that we like shared, like you obviously bring it up to me first rather than an RA. And sure enough, I go, "What do you mean? Like, I know I'm not supposed to have it. Like, what? Like, why are you trying to
talk into the mic? I'm sorry for interrupting you again.
I think it's fine, but yeah, no, I was like, why? I was like, what do you mean? Like, what do you have to tell me? Like, I was like, I know we're not supposed to have it. And he goes, he's like, yeah, like we're not supposed to have it. So I like sent a picture of it to our RA, and I'm like sitting down at this point, just like chilling in my room. And like, I get up out of my chair, get in his face. I'm like, yo, what the fuck, man? Like, what do you mean you like snitched on me and like you told the RA? And then meanwhile that happens. Yeah. Shout out to that siren.
Excuse the sirens. I hope that person's okay.
So as I'm like in this dude's face, yelling,
I know
at
that
him,
feeling that you got when he said that to you. Just
pure
it's like
anger.
A blood rush. Yeah.
Pure anger.
Your body just changes. It's
It was
so
like
weird.
a psychedelic state, if you will. But as I'm like in his face, I hear a knock on our door, and it's we go to answer it, and it's the RA and 2 campus cops.
Great.
Right behind our RA, and they like hear me yelling at his face. They could obviously hear it out from the hallway just because I'm so furious.
Those walls are thin.
And they get in. Long story short, they give me a citation for MIP, minor in possession of alcohol. What's it called?
It's not the end of the world, but it's just really unfortunate it came to that.
The timing
quickly.
was really bad because I was about to leave anyway, and I was gonna go away for a weekend. It's not like I was drinking or throwing a party that like disrupted his space or him studying or whatever basically. But he just like decided not to like hit me up first, and just first instinct was to snitch and tell the RA. And these 2 campus cops, they look at me and go, they obviously tell I'm like furious and really upset at him. And they were like, if like you do anything to him or like, like physical contact or like anything, to like retaliate, they're like, yeah, that's like retaliation. You can get charged for that too. So just
that's
definitely,
assault.
So just definitely be careful. I was like, yeah, whatever. So yeah, I definitely have.
Did they take your handle?
Oh yeah, it was gone.
Oh,
it was gone.
That sucks.
Yeah, no, it was really bad. I mean, what, $20, $30 down the drain, but I mean, plus the cost of the ticket going all through these like loops of.
Did you not go to ACL?
No, I ended up going to ACL.
Okay.
I ended up having a great time.
Good.
Wasn't gonna let that stop me, but just a minor setback for a major comeback. But yeah, I've definitely had my fair share of. I mean, that was probably like the only time I've actually had like a shitty roommate.
Well, the first thing is, I wonder what he thought when he was doing that, because obviously he thought he was doing the right thing. I assume it's safe to assume that he didn't think about how it would affect his roommate's relationship moving forward. Did you I just never talk to him again when you lived in the same room for 5 more months?
Essentially, yes. I immediately after that, I went to my RA, or went to the head of the building,
You were like, get me out.
I was like, yo, I just can't live with this guy. Like, I'm sure you understand. Like, I'm not gonna like just live the rest of this. This was like October.
Another siren.
Yeah, shit's really been happening out there. But yeah, I wasn't gonna finish out my whole rest of my freshman year. I mean, this was what, October, so we had like the rest of first semester and second semester.
That's just so long off of that one
just
incident.
wanting to hate and kill this dude and just torture him.
Not kill, but definitely really unfortunate to be in that position.
I wanted some bad things to happen to him.
Were you able to get moved?
Yeah, so she
That's good.
I don't know if it was a he or she, but whoever the head of the building at the time, I had to finish out first semester, so I had to do October, November, and like a week or two into December.
I guess that makes sense because they have people that will come in for the second semester and need a place to live.
Well, yes, Damaro, our buddy from high school.
Oh, that was you
Yes.
transferred to him?
Yeah, he transferred from like Texas Southern or a college in Houston.
Did you know him prior to
Yeah,
college?
no, we played baseball.
Oh, so
he went to high school with me. We played on the same baseball team.
So this worked out perfectly.
Aside from having to finish off like 2.5 months with this,
Just not saying a
roommate.
word every time you went back into your room.
Oh, dude, I had such bad thoughts that like I just want to like get into so bad, but like, you know, just walking into the bathroom and seeing his like toothbrush or
Good thing that you hadn't learned any nasty tricks from our friend Will Junk quite yet.
Well, I wish I would have you know, done a lot worse to him, but
It's good you didn't. You were the bigger man.
I didn't, but I wanted to so badly.
I mean, that's not unfair.
But yeah, I think our dorm was like 11 stories. I was on the third at the time. I got moved up to a room on the 8th floor, which I had a roommate, but our dorms were like 2 rooms here, shared bathroom, 2 rooms on the other side. So it was basically like a suite with 4 people. So Damaro moved into the conjoined room, not my specific one, but the roommate that I got placed with or like switched with. He was like, his name was like George or something, but he was like not there. He was probably stayed there in our dorm room second semester a total of like 3 nights.
Oh, you were in a 3-person?
No. So it was like 2 shared bathroom, 2. So like a 4-person suite,
Okay.
like a room here, 2 rooms basically, and then 2 people per room. And there was like a bathroom with a shower,
Right.
sink, all that in the middle that we both, you know, all 4 of us shared. But my specific roommate in my room, my individual room, he was a gay dude, and I guess stayed at his boyfriend's apartment because I guess his
so
boyfriend
you all
was
just like lived alone, basically.
I like basically had a room to myself all second semester, which was fine because like Damaro
cool.
lived literally like, you know, we shared a bathroom.
Right.
You could just like walk over and we'll chill. So my second college, you know, roommate in the dorms was perfect because he was never there. Cool dude. Like the times he were there, like I think he was like a theater kid, but definitely like
a little more understanding than the first guy you
Oh
had.
yeah, I mean it was cool because like I mean he was gay, but like he was like not like he was like I'm not saying like there's definitely not anything wrong with that, but like he's like
It is 2021. You can do whatever you want.
no, yeah, exactly.
Within the confines of the law.
No, it was cool because like it just like opened me up to like a new perspective of just like, you know, like what he does for fun, what classes he takes and all this type of shit. And it was cool to just like talk to him and, you know, just like pick his mind when he was there, but when he wasn't, it was
Instead of just some dickhead that tattled on the RA to
dude,
you.
yeah, like I, you know, drank so much beer in that dorm because I was like able to, and I felt like safe in my own
Yeah.
space.
I mean, that's important. That's my whole point.
Yeah, like hosted a bunch of pre-games there for like, you know, like the parties we would always go to freshman year. But yeah, I'll never forget that first roommate who just was the worst.
And I feel like you wouldn't want to trade that experience either because you learned a lot from it. No matter how shitty it was, you grew from it.
I learned how to hate.
Okay.
And I learned how to move on from hate, I guess.
There you go. So I'm going to use you gave a very specific story, so I have a very specific story, but I will preface this with the fact that the couple of roommates I had in Colorado, we never ended up seeing eye to eye.
I'm sad, not to interrupt, but I'm sad I never got to visit.
It was awesome. It was great. We'll go back. I quickly realized that Colorado, for me personally, is more of a place I like to vacation. Going to the mountains, all that.
Still need to see us at Red Rocks.
We do need to go to Red Rocks, the best venue in the world.
Like this year, possibly, but
I'm
continue,
down.
Yeah.
So I have a specific story. I went to boarding school in 8th grade, It was either boarding school or parish. I deferred parish for a year, went there freshman year. But in 8th grade, I went to boarding school in Austin. It was very cool. I met a lot of really great people there.
Where'd you stay for that? Did you have roommates there too? It was like
Yeah, there was
kind of thing?
like 20% or something of the kids there were boarders. I stayed in a dorm.
Is that for a full year?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I came home
I
like
didn't-
once or twice.
I don't know if I knew that. Or I
Yeah.
knew you went, but I didn't know if
It was
for a full
awesome.
year.
I'm glad I did it.
That's cool.
Granted, I didn't know how to live or study alone without parental supervision, which is why I didn't stay. But there was the smallest percentage of boarders were in 8th grade because you're like 13. I'm not going to name names, but my first roommate was an interesting experience, just like yours. We never really, like, I didn't drink yet. I was in 8th grade. Come on. But we had a lot of differences. I was young.
Totally random.
Yeah, well, I mean, there was like under 5 8th grade boarders.
Oh wow.
So it was as random as it could be with that group. But the one thing that I really remember happening was there was always a big spring break trip, or maybe it was a fall trip. I don't remember. I think it was a fall trip. That makes more sense, to go camp in a big national park. And I was so excited to go on that. And again, I was young and dumb and would just mess around drawing phallic objects. Was funny to me.
Who didn't?
It
Who
still
didn't?
is funny to draw
Oh,
dicks.
dicks are always going to be funny.
It's just funny,
There's
just like
no getting around
farts.
that. And they're ageless too.
So I drew a dick in dry erasable Expo marker on the mirror and thought that was hilarious.
Classic.
If I did that to you, you'd think that was awesome. He didn't, and he took a picture of it.
This is like in y'all's bathroom or
Yeah,
something.
we had we had a sink and a mirror in our room. The bathrooms were down the hall, but he took a picture and sent it to the head of middle school.
I hate that so much just because I don't like if you were there or not. Regardless, my situation, I was like hanging out with friends. I wasn't in the room, so like there was no stopping
I had no
him.
control.
But like once you hear that like someone's taking a picture of something and then sends it off,
I was done for.
there's no coming back from that.
Yeah.
Like you're just done.
It was whack. The head of middle school also did not find it very humorous. I don't know why. A penis is not bullying. I'm not calling anyone names. I just drew a dick. It's 2 circles and a longer circle.
I've seen a dick before, yeah.
He also, I should mention, took the picture in about the weirdest way possible. You know how if you take a selfie, you have the screen facing you? He almost like took a selfie with it, but he stood behind the phone.
That would be funny.
He took the picture. I wish I still had that photo. It was awesome. He took, because they showed it to me. He took the picture normally, but had the phone facing the other way. So the screen was facing the mirror instead of the front camera.
Did he have like an iPhone or was it
Yes.
Just
Oh, yeah. We had iPhones. It was very weird he took the picture that way, because
I don't remember when I had my first
no matter how you take a picture in the mirror, you're going to see yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Very strange. But nonetheless, I was not able to go on the trip, was very upset about it. And from then on, it was just not a very comfortable living situation. And I retaliated. I was not taking his toothbrush and shoving it up my ass, but
I'm not saying I did that. I've thought about it, wanted to do it,
I did.
didn't, but
And keep in mind, these rooms were tiny. So I went and got a roll of duct tape and divided the room in half and said, I'm going to slap the shit out of you if you cross this line. Don't touch my things. Don't look at me. Don't talk to me. Because I think there was still some school after the fall break before I could. I don't actually remember if I even put in a formal request to switch roommates. I think someone else later down the line ended up having problems with their roommate too in the same dorm building. So me and the other boarder ended up just living together in his old room, and they switched. Whatever. I don't remember that part. But I would also. Let me back up. He really liked playing Xbox. I mean, who doesn't? Video games are tight. But like really liked it. To the point where if the Wi-Fi went out, he would call his mom and be like, Mom, the Wi-Fi's out. And she's like, okay, I'm 10 hours away. What do you want me to do?
What's she supposed to do about that?
Kid was interesting, to say the least. I hope he's doing well now, though. But when he wasn't in the room, I would unplug his Xbox. But when you see a cord unplugged, you're like, oh, Though I got to plug that back in. I would unplug it in a way that it was still connected,
You just like,
but there was no
dangling.
power. Yeah.
I like that.
And I never stopped doing that. And I would do it every time that he left. And I don't think he ever realized what was going on. I mean, I don't know. This was a long time ago. Memory's a little foggy. Oh, is 10 years a decade?
It is.
It was a decade ago. Whoa, that makes me nauseous.
We were in 8th grade a decade ago. Wow.
But I would, yeah, I thought that was awesome. Just slightly unplugging the Xbox and the TV.
I just had dreams.
Roommates are tough.
How was the move from his room to other dudes?
What do you mean?
Work out? Like, did you like the other guy better?
Yeah, he was cool.
Yeah.
I still follow him on Instagram.
Seems like y'all are like meant for each other, and then
Well, it was more.
those two pieces of shit are also meant for each
Yeah,
other.
I mean, we were really young. I don't want to call him a pieces of shit, but it was just
You can
unfortunate.
be young and I'm fully. You can be. Kids are shitty. Kids are pieces of shit. I mean,
That's
I was,
true.
I was a piece of
You
shit.
can be a
too.
shithead when you're young. That's fair.
Yeah, I'm just putting that out there. You can be a piece of
Boarding
shit.
was hard though, as an 8th grader, so I don't want to like put all the blame on him. It was just interesting. Oh, I forgot to mention this. I remember also, shortly after I got in a lot of trouble, his mom emailed me.
You define that as a lot of trouble.
I mean, that trip was going to be awesome. It was like a week camping.
They just said no.
Yeah, which is really that's like, why punish me like that? Anyway, his mom.
I've done a lot of bad shit when I was a
His
kid.
mom
but
ended up emailing me and apologizing and was like, "I'm sorry, like my son doesn't quite get the humor of kids your age, this and that and the other." And I'm thinking,
she gets it.
yeah, she
Just
gets it.
disappointed in her own son. Oh, that's tough.
But lady, I missed a camping trip. I love
Where
camping.
are you supposed to go?
I don't want to say. I don't want to try. It was Big Bend.
Wow,
Yeah,
we need to run that.
sucks. I think it was Big Bend.
That's in Texas, right?
Yeah, so it was Big Bend.
Some of my favorite trips, hands down, were from camping trips and national
Yeah, we live in
parks and-
Texas, by the way.
Little drink break.
Is your ice cold water good?
Yeah, the ranch water's really hitting.
My water is kind of warm, but it's fine.
What have you been drinking these days? What's your go-to?
Definitely tequila. We both have.
Oh yeah.
It's just, you got to grow up and start drinking tequila. There's no way around it. I mean, am I going to take a vodka shot? I'm not a psychopath.
I remember when I used to think tequila was like disgusting and bad. Like,
I mean, I used to think beer was gross.
well, I'm just saying, like, I was already like 21. I didn't start drinking, like really falling in love with tequila until maybe like a year or two ago.
Really?
Now it's my favorite.
I used to be
I
a
won't
big
buy a
whiskey
bottle
guy.
other than maybe like Tito's for pulls or mixed drinks. But if I'm buying a bottle like tonight or something, it's gonna be tequila. I
100% agree.
absolutely love tequila. I'll shout out to Peter Dunn probably. I got to give him credit for putting me on some ranch waters and tequila.
Oh, yeah. He was definitely the purveyor of ranch water vibes.
Not only that, big house music guy.
Well,
I've been.
my dad taught me about EDM.
That's crazy.
I remember who was I with? I was young, like early high school. And he was like, you got to check this guy out. And it was
it
Bass
Diplo?
Nectar. No, it was
Oh,
Bass
what?
Nectar.
Oh, so he was.
It was like one of Bass Nectar's older albums.
he was like
really.
really heady, huh?
I don't know what his deal is. That's for a different episode.
Is Bass Nectar still around?
No, he got canceled. He was like grooming. Oops.
Tough look.
Maybe don't get famous and break the law.
I just don't understand why you could favor the young and innocent rather than fucking someone your own age. I'll never understand that.
He fumbled for sure. He was the top. He was peak dubstep, I would say. I don't know. What should we Should we talk about what we want this podcast to be direction wise? This is episode 0.
Yeah, I mean, we're just testing
I like that we
the
got
waters.
into our relationship a little bit because we are. While I might get bored and get on your nerves, you luckily are much more go with the flow, and we're a good match most of the time.
I like how we blend. Yeah, it can blend into some murky waters at times.
You've
but I
started to learn how to mess with me back, and I don't like it.
Oh yeah, I mean, I know you're.
You need to stay in your lane.
After living with you for a year,
You know
and-
how to push my buttons.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Fuck.
I can just look at you in a certain way, and you get unhappy.
I just bug out.
But yeah,
It's your face, man. It's just so punchable.
I wish there was something I could do about that.
Get a new one? I don't know.
It just I enjoyed like telling stories that we may have shared previously in
friend
the
group.
past. Yeah,
Yeah.
just to our friends and stuff, but like to dive deeper. I like that as well.
Well, so we're running with the name Growing Up Young. I think, while that may not be your favorite name, I think it fits our theme well because we are growing up, and generally you grow old. I'd like to think we always, and I feel like when you get older, you get like used to life. I don't know. It just all becomes mundane. I think you and I do a really good job of remaining bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
I mean, we're certainly growing up and maturing, but the way we're doing it is certainly what's the word? Unorthodox or unconventional.
I'd agree with that. I was talking to my mom. Shout out my mom. And she was explaining that when she was our age, I mean, she was about to get married to my dad. They're divorced now. But there was no pandemic. There was no Afghanistan issues. There was no anything. Like, it was just, they just grew up normal. Not normal, but I mean,
definitely
it's all relative.
I mean, I definitely think since we didn't grow up during that time that we just kind of like gloss over the fact that there was still very much problems in the world.
100%. It's
like,
just
didn't
different now
experience.
because of the internet.
Well, yeah, you're just like more aware, which is crazy, and everyone has like a viewpoint on everything.
The world's smaller too. Like, we don't walk around living our lives and not think about a bunch of other stuff. I feel like pre-internet, especially pre-internet, they were just doing them, and now you can't go more than 2 minutes without seeing someone's post or seeing something that's an ad referencing social media or anything like that. And I think that's a very interesting dynamic that we live in.
I mean, just to compare that to like the difference in times now. I mean, our like parents were getting married at this point, but like I definitely like I was starting to see. I mean, we're 23, 24. It's like still weird to see someone our age getting engaged, getting married.
I'm going to do a wedding in February.
Yeah, that's crazy. Certainly couldn't be me.
They've been dating forever though, and it makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's definitely outliers, but
100%.
for the most
On the bell
part,
curve, there are outliers. But I feel like this is what I was thinking about. Maybe, and again, this is very broad and a blanket statement, but I was thinking that when our parents were our age, the majority of people lived more normal lives, whatever quote unquote normal means. And the minority lived through a bunch of stuff. And now I feel like the majority is what the minority used to be. Does that make sense?
I'm following.
Like there's much more of fucked shit happening, and you see it every day because of the internet. And so the majority of people live through crazy stuff, and there's no way around it.
Yeah, just like the difference between knowing about it and being aware, and then just like living through it and everyone else around you being unaware. Just like, I don't know, like, well, we have buddies in, California, different states, New York, but just being able to like, a FaceTime call away, just understanding like the fucked up shit they did the night before, just like what they're experiencing in a different city. Just like also like seeing how people operate, like how a different city operates, like our buddy Court being living in New York, and just how shit's just kind of like crazy there as far as, like what's going on as far as like mask mandates. California's doing its only thing. Yeah, like talk about this pandemic, like this, it's just crazy how we're falling back into a pit where we had originally thought we were out of, and it's just so infuriating.
I feel like people have stopped thinking for themselves, and I don't want to sit here and put us or our friend group on a pedestal, but I think the idea of thinking for yourself and forming your own opinions is no longer what the mass amounts of people do because of clickbait and this person saying that and all this. Like, if something bad happened 30, 40 years ago, you'd read about it in the paper the next day or a week later. But now if there's a shooting, someone's live streaming it on Facebook as it's happening.
So fucked up. I've seen too many of those videos where it just...
I'm just numb to it all. Like, if I showed an adult past the age of 40 a video of some fucked up shit happening, they'd probably be really upset. And I'd just be like, I've seen this 30 times in the past year.
I mean, just I guess to like piggyback off of that, I don't think I mean, shit's definitely fucked right now. But like, if you look about like
Shit's fucked.
if you look at like 30 years ago, I mean, shit was fucked back then. It's just not like it's not being thrown in your face.
It's just the access. The access is far greater. And I mean, obviously it's all relative. Like everyone's always like, oh, you're sitting on your phone, not talking to the people around you. But if you look at a picture before phones, everyone was reading a newspaper and not talking to anyone around them. Like the experiences are similar, but what happens in the intensity of it is relative.
Dude, I got in like an argument with one of my roommates in college, and he was like, "Dude, I think the world's way more fucked up today than it was like 100 years ago, centuries ago." I go, "Dude, I don't know if I."
This is the best it's ever been.
I was like, "Dude, you're just so wrong. Like they used to like sacrifice babies and like eat their hearts and shit. Like, I mean, shit's definitely fucked, but it's like definitely not like we're not like barbaric anymore. We have like laws and systems. I mean,
the stimulation is just different.
I mean, people break them every day, but it's not like we're savages as much as we once were as people. I don't know.
I mean, granted, this is just our viewpoints and opinions, but I know what you're saying.
I just like,
there's no more witch hunts.
oh, yeah.
Not literal ones. There's definitely still, like, people get canceled all the time. This cancel culture shit is ridiculous. But again, like, back when they were sacrificing babies and eating their hearts, which I haven't read that part of the history book per your reference.
I don't know if it was babies, but it was just like, people in like the Mayan culture just sacrificing
Oh,
people.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Just like, we're not as barbaric and savage as, humans once were.
It's so weird because that was contained. Like, that doesn't make it any better. But if something happened pre-internet and pre-phones, it was essentially contained. But now if something happens, there's little to no way you miss it.
Oh, 100%. And I guess to his point, I guess it's more fucked up in that respect.
Whose point?
Or just my
Your
roommate.
friends? Oh, okay.
Yeah, just my boy in college. We were like talking. He was like said something about like, so, I don't know, some crazy shit happened.
The quality of life is better for the majority now. People are still in poverty for sure, but I mean, there's ways that we can help. Not saying that we do, but things can be done now.
Yeah, no, everything is. Everything's touched on to a degree, but it's definitely the world's fucked. It's always gonna be fucked, but I mean, you got to keep living, right?
You just got to listen to our podcast and keep thinking about everything.
Music makes everything better too. I'm so excited for festival season rolling around again.
I know. I'm glad.
Hopefully,
we're seeing Zed's Dead next weekend.
So no, not next weekend. We have a week in between.
We do have a week in between. You're right. So in 2 weeks, but they are by far my favorite to see in terms of like concerts that are DJ EDM related. I feel like I've worked really hard to get to this point because it's been like almost 2 years now, if my math is correct, since I've seen them.
Oh, it's been so long since I've seen that. They came to St. Marcus, the Mark, during their Northern Lights tour. Absolutely. I was like leaving the venue.
This tour is called The Revival.
I was leaving the venue just like on my hands and knees, basically like searching for my face.
Just in awe.
They're amazing. They're incredible.
Hooks and DC are the best. That's the two.
I always think it's Hooks and Crooks, but yeah, I always like have you correct me.
I think I'm right. Someone can fact check me.
I just don't know about how, with festival season rolling around, with what we're seeing with ACL, Life is Beautiful, Bonnaroo, with, like the
vaccine cards.
The vaccine cards, the negative test. If we can get I wonder how many people are able to get rapid test. Oh, there was a show, Maroon 5 at Dos Equis Pavilion here in Dallas. You had to show a negative vaccine or a negative COVID test or show your vaccine card. And they said that like a day or two prior. So this person I work with in our Slack channel was like, yeah, like I have a, extra 2 Maroon 5 tickets. I can't go because the new vaccination policies or, the negative COVID test. But our friend, Stephanie, I saw that she was doing like an at-home COVID test, and she was like shoving one of those things in her friend's nose. And I think Jaron was saying, our buddy Jaron, he was saying that you can get those at like CVS, Walgreens, but I don't know how
I guess
you can like put that, even if you had COVID, you can put it up like your dog's nose or
just wipe it on the couch
or like, spit on it. Like, I don't know how there's any,
not to interrupt again, I'm really bad at that. I saw a TikTok of the Key to New York. I guess it's an app, from my understanding, in New York to take a picture of your vaccine card.
Oh, is that like a legit thing?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They took
Tough.
this guy took a picture of a rotting mango, like an old ass mango, and it confirmed that it was the proper vaccine card picture.
Is this
So,
to get in like
yikes.
gyms, restaurants,
I think it's everywhere.
and whatnot?
I had a thought, but I lost it.
But yeah, just
That happens a lot.
going back on the COVID thing. I was like, who's to say you can't just like spit on this COVID test
Oh,
and get into whatever?
I saw a really interesting
Festival
post, and I
concert.
mean, I don't want to pick sides here. That's not what this is all about. But I saw an interesting post today, actually, of someone. They went into a restaurant, and before they got seated, they were like, "Can we see your vaccine card?" And the guy goes, "Yes."
Where?
I don't. It was some restaurant. I don't remember what city, to be honest.
Or state, yeah,
which
this
is
what I was curious
unfair.
about.
This is completely out of context. It's just a good thought game. But they were like, "Oh yeah, you can see our vaccine cards, but can you tell us who's serving us first?" And she goes, "Oh, like it depends where you sit." And the people who this is about were like, "Well, we want to see our server's vaccine card too." And then it got into like, does he have like any sexually transmitted diseases? When's the last time he had a flu shot? All this, because it's like, if you're just gonna profile your customers, then it's also, I feel like it's definitely fair to be like, oh, the employees also can share the information, because you would hope that if a restaurant is required to ask for vaccine cards, then they are also required to have everyone vaccinated.
I mean, and if not, then what's the point?
Exactly.
Well, you know what I mean.
No, what is
Yeah.
the point? Because that doesn't make sense. And
I just want it to make sense.
I hope.
I'm fine with
Yes,
whatever.
I like that. I like that a lot.
I
Let's
just-
just leave it at that, because I can't keep talking about COVID, to be honest. But I also want it to make sense.
I'm just fine with doing whatever I
We're
need to.
we're dumb as fuck, and we just need it written out in black and white what the fuck the facts are.
Just some consistency. I don't know. Like,
I appreciate consistency heavily. Consistency and respect. That's all I ask.
yeah, everything else just like hurts my brain.
It's not up to us to decipher this code.
I'm just like, so I just want everything to go back to normal, and who's to say it will, who's to say it won't.
I'm just excited for live music again. I agree with that.
When was Ubby? Went to this
Ubby
festival
Dubby.
in like April, May.
I think it was April,
June,
right?
Possibly.
I remember when I was younger, I went on a camping trip called Outward Bound. And we sailed. We sailed for 5 days and camped for 5, hiked and camped. And the one thing that we all agreed that we missed the most was music.
100%.
It plays a much bigger role, I think, than anyone realizes. And you and I definitely have a very similar taste in music and a similar respect for it. I like to moonlight as a very untalented DJ. You're pretty good at it too.
I like how you said respect, because it is a respect thing. Like, music has gotten me just like out of, low points, high
It's the
points.
best.
It's there for you when, you need it the most.
It understands you without being opinionated.
Just like the feeling you get when you're, listening to your favorite song, and then not to mention seeing that song live. We need more of that in the world. And
I mean, not to be cheesy, we just need more love, man. Walking out of your door and choosing to not respect thy neighbor just goes against being a human. And I think literally as a race, we are getting to a point where we have to stop being barbaric, because life has no respect. It just wants to keep going no matter what. But we have the unfortunate luck or unluck of, that's not a word, of being able to decide and think about our decisions as a living being, instead of just like how the underbrush of a forest can choke out the pine trees that are 30 feet high, just all for the sake of advancing their own species, whether it's fucking grass or monkeys or whatever. And we're in this weird little spot where we can go, wait, am I doing something that's going to affect people adversely? And granted, someone does have to be the villain. Bad things do have to happen, but that's just so good things can. Just like how you had a poor roommate experience, and so did I. Whether that was once or 100 times, if nothing bad had happened, then we would not have who knows if we would have found each other.
I mean, yeah, just like you have to have the bad experiences just make the good experiences that much more enjoyable and more appreciative.
There's no way around it.
I mean, life's fast, but you just you have to try to slow it down as much as you can and just appreciate what you have. And that's what I feel like some people just miss out on and just gloss over the point where it's just you can choose to enjoy things, but you don't have to go out of your way to be a dick or just fuck everyone else's day up just because there's something that you don't agree in. You're allowed to you can two things can be right at the same time. There doesn't always have to be a polarizing subject where I'm right, you're wrong, and then I'm just gonna ruin you for your
polarizing
decision.
Subjects make money though, and that's what's unfortunate. Chaos is easily monetized.
The world's fucked.
You made a really good point about slowing it all down, and what I realized yesterday, we went to a baseball game. I don't think I can remember. Oh yeah, you didn't go. It's crazy. I just assume that you're with me all the time. It's very weird. That might be codependent. We might need therapy. I think we just need girlfriends, to be honest. But anyway, what you said about slowing it all down, that was the longest 4 hours I've had in a hot minute.
Yeah, baseball games are long. I'm glad you seem like you enjoyed it.
It was fun.
Because I grew up playing baseball. Baseball is my first love. I met some of my best friends through baseball. But yeah, no, I'm glad you enjoyed it. It seemed like it was a crazy game.
It was fun. I think, though, the reason it felt so long is because I'm not sure I've ever sat through a baseball game. I don't want to say that was my first baseball game. It definitely wasn't. But in recent memory, that's the first one I stayed from start to finish. And talk about slowing time down. Do something that you've never done before and see how long it takes, how long it feels like it takes. Because when you're doing something new, your brain has to process it and it slows down. But when you wake up and do the same shit every day, the days go by faster than they should. So you got to step out of your comfort zone a little bit sometimes, so you can kind of slow down and smell the roses.
I mean, baseball games are long. I'll be the first one to say it. I played baseball, love baseball. It can get tough watching a game, especially I wouldn't say on TV.
The best part is the last inning for sure.
I was gonna say your text about this game just got crazy and
it was bottom of the ninth.
Yeah, home game for the Rangers.
Bottom of the ninth. They were on their second out.
Last out. Yeah, the last out of the game. What it was 7-3, bases loaded.
It was 7-2. No, I think it was 7-2 because they got 5.
Oh, I was under the impression that it was 7-3, bases were loaded, and they hit a grand slam to tie it. I didn't watch any of that game. I was working, but
well, now I'm confused. No. In the bottom of the ninth, the Rangers scored 5.
That's huge.
Yeah. And they tied it up. And the guy that made them tie it up... Well, the guy that tied it up wasn't the one that got the last point of the inning, but he was their 9th batter, the worst batter.
That hurt me a lot, the last point. Well, it'll be...
What is it?
It'll be runs in baseball. Sorry.
I mean, there's still points.
Well,
I'm not saying they're throwing a half-court shot, dickhead. It's all still points, whether it's basketball, baseball, or rugby.
I mean, you're not wrong, but you're also you couldn't be any more wrong.
Am I wrong, or could I not be more wrong?
I just don't like how whenever
it's not a false statement.
We'll continue, but if you say point one more time,
let us know down in the comments what your viewpoint is.
I'll have an aneurysm
if I ever get this up to YouTube.
If you call it or run a point again, I'm gonna have an aneurysm.
I'm just gonna keep calling it then. Keep calling it that.
But yeah, the Rangers didn't end up pulling it out.
That stadium is crazy. Globe Life,
air conditioned,
kind of. It's definitely cool.
Did they have the roof open?
No, fuck no.
Okay,
it was 95 yesterday.
That's huge. Well, yeah, y'all had a suite.
Yeah, for
drinks
for the people Jan works for. Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm a heavy drinker, but I did pour myself a very firm ranch water, and I was sitting outside and I overheard someone go, "Oh, we've already gone through our second bottle of tequila," and I'm sitting there with just a cup full of it.
I mean, from my understanding, there was a ton of y'all, right?
Maybe there's 15 people in that box.
Yeah,
20?
I mean, that bottle would be.
It was
Imagine
like
if I was there.
5. It was 5 of me though. Just like 23-year-old, 24-year-olds. Just
I would have had.
I mean, free alcohol, free anything's free anything. You know what I mean? What am I gonna do? Not have some? You would have just been a problem.
There's nothing more. I don't enjoy much more than drinking WFs.
Whatever's free, baby.
Whatever's free, baby. It tastes so good, and you don't have to worry about fucking. Just like if there's alcohol provided, I'm fucking there. This wedding you're going to, open bar.
I don't know all the details yet. I have yet to receive an official invite.
You will, I'm sure.
I know. We'll see what happens. Crazy though. My first wedding.
No +1.
Nah. I don't know if I'd take you. Even if I
An
had
option?
one.
Yeah, I was about to say, is there an option, or are you just deciding on just?
No, I was told,
ripping
which is
solo?
fine. I'm gonna know a couple people there. It'll be okay. But yeah, first wedding's big.
I haven't been to a
Shout
wedding.
out to the couple. Y'all are the best.
I haven't been to a wedding in so long. Are you?
I've been to my mom's wedding. That was dumb. My mom's second husband.
Did you get a +1 for that?
Not really. Actually, no, I didn't. Now that I think about it, is everyone just not giving me +1s now that I think about it?
They just know you're a fuck boy.
That's not fair.
I know, I'm just being a dick, but if I was invited to a wedding that doesn't have an open bar, I simply just wouldn't go. I don't care if it's.
Can you have an event without an open bar anymore?
You absolutely can. I mean, just if you're gonna cheap out on your guests
Like
and your
Sunday
friends,
school,
I just don't understand the point of having an event like that.
Okay, well, a budget is different though. Like now you're being selfish. It's about the couple. It's not about free alcohol.
Well,
We'll be okay. I'll be okay.
There's two sides to the.
I'm excited. Well, it's my first wedding of someone I know my age. Kind of scary.
I know. When
When are you gonna get married?
If ever. Don't know.
I just need to focus on my career.
I'm trying to grow as a person.
Same. I wouldn't say I'm emotionally available right now.
I don't think anybody's ready for the love that I can give.
That might be true.
It's 100% true.
And I think on that note, we're gonna go ahead and end things. I like where you left off.
I think this was fun.
Everyone give as much love as they can. You know. You never know what someone's going through that you see on the street, and no matter how complex your life is, you got to understand the person driving next to you in the lane over has all the same shit going on.
Go have some fun. Enjoy life. Fucking rip a festival, rip a concert with your
breathe a little too.
with your closest buddies.
Do something different.
Do whatever makes you happy.
Keep listening, and catch us in the next one.
Thank you. Love you guys.
Bye.